wanting to play.
Yep.
And I think that showed after Christmas, besides one game. So.
And also, I guess, just a final note, and this probably leads into the second 11 who won their final game, but and I'll tap into that. But the person who did the most consistent work with the bat throughout all of the season in the twos was Cedric Jance, and he basically worked his way back into the first 11 in the last round. I know you mentioned that there was a bit of romance about playing Cedric with Bryce in the round where we were having the 80th celebrations,
yeah.
But on its own, Cedric probably deserved his spot for what he'd done with the bat.
Actually, good point. I saw Congorzi, sorry to jump. I saw he played for Brighton.
Last round of
so obviously
the
the new Brighton Union have succumbed to internal pressure
to old Brighton Union, yeah.
to play the great man. But anyway, yeah. Look, Cedric. Look, he did deserve his spot, but again, the romance for me was to get him in with Bryce, especially in the 80th year, and that was the main driving factor in doing that.
Once we finish the going through the rounds, we'll talk about the 80th briefly. But the second 11, they played final game against Hyatt West. Bentley A&A finished 199, I think it was, with Stewie Campbell top scoring with 41, and James Coyne batting at 8 or 9, making 40, getting us to a competitive score. And then in the second week, I think Hyatt West were 2 for 34 overnight, and then they finished all that for about 150 with Stewie Craven taking 4 for 19, along with Tim Caddison as well, 4 for 19.
Is that a good year, Craven?
Stewie's done really well. I think he's finished with 25 or 26 wickets for the season in the second 11, and an average of about 12 or 13, which is a fantastic. Sure. Unfortunately, not. There was a couple of blokes who averaged. I think Steve Worker might have won it with an average of about 10 or so. But
did he take? What's the quality?
He got to bowl 70 overs and play at least 6 games, and that's not an issue. I mean, Steve Worker plays nearly every game at once, but from Stewie's point, that's a real breakthrough season for him. He's been in and out of the seconds and thirds over the last 4 or 5 years, but to really, I guess, lock down that role of being the first change bowler of the seconds, and he does mix it up. He doesn't come on the bat as much as what's expected, so probably people get a little bit excited from that perspective, but he always puts it in the spot, and as a result, if they mistime their shot, then it usually goes to a fieldsman. So well done to Stewie for that. And of course, he's been backed up well by Tim Caddison, who took I think about 17 or 18 wickets in Woolno himself.
He only played a handful of games too.
Yeah, look, he had a few weddings, I believe.
He
played that first round in the once, or a couple. Yeah, you're right. So, good for those blokes. And to be fair, they finished 5th. I don't think they were hungry enough to actually play finals.
They ended up finishing 5th.
They finished 5th. They didn't, train hard enough, is what I guess you would have expected. I mean, Stewie Campbell's a perfect example. He's made over 200 runs for the season in the seconds. You would expect him to do a lot better than that. For a bloke who hasn't turned up to training once at all this season, it was a disappointment, but let's hope that Stewie's on track for next season.
And I think we spoke about it in another episode, but when you've got the Caddison's going to... The guy has more weddings he's unbelievable.
It's the age bracket, I guess.
But he's got to us. What I'm trying to get at again is you need to get 11 games. If you're going to push, that's why the guys like East Sandy, they always do so well, because they keep the same 11 on the field every game. So for the 5th, but in series for the twos to finish 5th, that's a pretty good result. Because if they beat Amiga before Christmas, and that was the key game.
That was the key game, because Amiga finished. I think A&A finished on 36 points in 5th spot. Amiga were 45 in 4th spot from memory. So if that was the case, had A&A beaten Amiga, we would have been above them by 3 points and been in the 4th. So,
but you're right though. The results.
And I think they passed us 9 wickets down with Cal Wilkinson making a ton. So that was crucial. Obviously. But
you're right though. In terms, if they made the fight, they would have been making up the numbers. And you're right. They probably weren't hungry enough. But again.
Great result to finish 5th.
Very good result. Very good result.
Our hopes this season in the finals is the Thirds, who defeated, I think it was the Melbourne Wanderers, with, I think we made 180
we rolled them
or
for
something.
we rolled them for about 150, didn't we?
That's right. We passed them 5 wickets down with Chris Vassell making 36, Frank Licano 35, and Jack Morrison making another 20 or thereabouts. So yeah, look, all's looking strong for the thirds. I think they've got a settled 11 with a few blokes who could probably get a sniff. But yeah, look, they're playing at King George against I think it's Aspendale Edithvale. So yeah, good luck to them.
Not Bentley United?
No, not Bentley United. No, it's Aspendale Edithvale. And with the ball, blokes like Jason Sherlock and Bob Dolman, who consistently take wickets for the boys. So I think they both took 3 wickets each.
1,000 wickets between them, sure.
Oh, at least, yeah, that's right. And then you've got you've got Michael with Tana Chichi and Frank Lacano with off spin. So yeah, look, and I think there's someone else with the ball in the thirds. They've got about 15.
Yeah, they can. Yeah,
so,
they can use it. Yeah.
Anyway, so they're our hopes. The fourth 11 finished the season. I guess how the season's gone, they've only won a couple of games or something like that. 318 they were chasing from Amiga. We finished 195 or thereabouts with Adam El Khoury making 65. And I think, someone else made 40. I think it might have been, I don't know. But obviously there you go, that's I guess an unfortunate situation with the fourths. Fifths received a forfeit, the sixths provided a forfeit, and the sevenths had a bye, so that was our season. The 16s missed out on finals, unfortunately. The 14s finished short as well. The under 12s made the finals, which is fantastic. So they're playing the Kingston Saints down somewhere down south. So we might have to hire a bus to get down there.
We'll be on the internet, for sure.
Yeah, it is. So look at bentleyano.com to find out where the 12s are playing. It'd be good to get the boys down there to support the kids. So that's Bentley A&A for season 2009-2010. Just been wrapping up last week, the 80th, last Saturday week I should say. Fantastic night. We had over 130 people at the South Oakley Club sit-down dinner, 3-course meal, a lot of presentations, great multimedia arrangements provided by Gino, highlighting premierships over the years. But yeah, look, it was great to have the ability to, obviously Al did a fantastic job with his opening address. We had unfortunately a couple of people, some favourite sons passing away in the weeks prior to the 80th, one being Ern Bulty, who was the secretary of the club in the 1930s. He was planning to be there, but unfortunately timing didn't suit. His grandchildren came out of respect, and they donated some support to the club, which was greatly appreciated. In addition, we had the passing away of Don Hall, who was president of the club in the 70s and 80s. And you look at the older guys like Cedric and Johnny Smith, Bob Wilson, they idolised Donny Hall when they were young. So yeah, it was obviously a sad loss to have him pass away just prior to the 80th. We also had, on a more positive note, we had Stan Yates, who played in the first 11 in the 1940s. He was there present. And we were able to speak to guys like Eddie Benson, who was involved with the CMCA, but also a president and secretary of A&A. He was there, as he always is, comes down from Brisbane or Queensland, which he's moved up there since 1969, so that was great. We also spoke to John Sanders, who was captain of the first 11 when we won our last A-grade shield 35 years ago. Yeah, look, things like that. It was just great to get a touch of the old flavour of A&A being introduced to, I guess, the young guys, which the club is heavily filled with at the moment. Guys like James White enjoyed himself. Brad Lovell, if he had a chance to actually catch up with his girlfriend who was there on the night, because I think everyone was surrounding her. If we just enjoyed himself, Luke Morrison, all those guys. So I
think the photos of that too will be on the website as well.
Yeah, I think Gino's got plenty of those photos, so yeah, that'll be up and running very soon. But also